Hey guys, this is Triz. A little disclaimer before we hop into the video. It'll only take a few seconds, but I figured I'd let you guys know this is actually the third, fourth, maybe even fifth time that I've attempted to upload this video, but the YouTube police keep taking it down. In other words, I've been copyrighted. I even have an active copyright strike on my channel right now. And it isn't from YouTube and their automatic copyright detector or anything, but it's been manually taken down multiple times. And I'm pretty sure it's because just a little 30-second clip from the end of season 3. So I'm probably gonna have to do some funny stuff and might not be able to show it. I'll try to figure something out, but when you get there, you'll see. Anyways, if you're seeing this video though, it means I've done something right, so make sure to drop a like and help spread this video because like I said, I've tried uploading this video multiple times already, so I could really appreciate the help. And let's hop into it. Kaguya Sama Love is War Season 3 is over. I know, it breaks my heart too. It really does. And since I'm still going through Hayasaka withdrawals and haven't been able to sleep at all at night, I figured it would be the perfect time to give my unwanted opinion on this anime. So bear with me because I'm going all in. Just like I did watching the OVA. Oh yeah. The show is based around two students attending an academy for rich kids, in which they both happen to hold positions of power in the student council. The president, Miyuki Shirogane, and the vice president, Kaguya Shinomiya. Kaguya is an extremely smart, rich girl that's the daughter of one of the most powerful families in Japan, and also happens to break the internet when she put on cat ears that one time. And to be honest, I can see why. Then there's Shirogane, who's the embodiment of what happens when you work hard and drink enough coffee to fill up the entirety of the Great Lakes multiple times over. I mean, you've heard of the Kool-Aid Man, but Shirogane, he's the coffee man. Oh, and coincidentally, he wore cat ears as well at one point, but instead of breaking the internet, he broke Kaguya. So what happens when you put these two together? World peace! Nope, just kidding. You get Death Note RomCom edition. Two tsunderes with almost genius level intellects who've got the hots for each other, and constantly having mental Pokemon battles with each other to see who will confess their love for each other first. These battles were fierce, because if you confessed, you would have to deal with being the one who gave up first, and you're at the complete mercy of whoever it is you confess to. And even worse than that, the story? Well, the story would end, and I don't think that'd be good for any of us. I wouldn't have liked that very much. These battles of love took place in what I would consider now one of the most iconic rooms in anime history. Okay, maybe that was slight hyperbole there, but I would definitely notice it before I noticed a lot of other rooms in anime. The student council room at Shunjin Academy, where at the end of these encounters a narrator, which might I add was a true MVP of the story, would decide who the winner or loser of it was. I mean, that narrator was definitely going through some type of G Fuel overdose or something like that. But Love is War, just like any war, has some absolute cock blockers. And in this case, other characters. The secretary of the student council, Chika Fujiwari, also known as Big Booba Waifu. And the treasurer of the student council, Ishigami, who may very well at times be one of the most relatable characters in the entire series. These two played a big role constantly throughout the entire story, sometimes stealing the show entirely. And a big reason of why it took me so long to finish the show. It's kind of hard to read subtitles whenever you're dying laughing, constantly having to rewind to see what they said next. Anyways, Chika, with her clueless, over-optimistic attitude that can somehow never read a room, added so much entertainment to the series it was uncanny, always thwarting Kaguya and Shirigane's plans without even realizing it. Coming into the room when people least expect it, making up games that she would try cheating in every time, and of course, most recognizably, doing the Chika dance. Oh yeah, the Chika dance. Times were so much more simpler when that was making the rounds on Twitter. Or the second most iconic thing she was doing was beating the shit out of Ishigami. Yeah, there's that too. Speaking of Ishigami, he is the realist. Although sometimes he's a little too real for his own good. He said what was on his mind at all times, and that's respectable. And also, he's a lazy gamer, which I think we could all relate to at some points in our life. But Ishigami also went on to become one of Shirigane's most close friends, which is a great thing because I think we could all use that one friend in our life to read dirty mangas with. Am I right? What a pastime right there. Anyways, this core group was the main focus of the story for most of the series, and it was absolutely hilarious. The chemistry between these characters were something unmatched, and their daily routines and bits were enough for a simple, funny anime on its own. And just a little note, can someone tell me why the animation was surprisingly great? I mean, seriously, we gotta give some props to the studio here. It was basically a storytelling element on its own. Whenever Chika had to go through the torture, and I don't say torture lightly, of Shirogane trying to sing or something, I truly felt her pain. I really did. I truly felt her pain. Like, damn, that animation hit diff. Actually, time for a Hayasaka break. Oh yeah, I gotta do those more often. Back to the video. Unlike most animes that have episodes on episodes of world and character building that you have to watch to even understand the series, with Love is War you can go to a friend's house. Wait, never mind. I have to make this video more relatable. Hold on. Let me try that again. You could go into a room all by yourself, with the exception of that one waifu body pillow. Turn on any episode in the series and get a solid laugh. Really without any prior knowledge at all. And it could be a B-tier anime just like that. But to get the A+, how it feels to chew 5 gum experience that I had, you really need to watch the series from the beginning, because the plot will sneak up on you. Before you know, you see some of the most wholesome scenes you've seen in anime. Like the fireworks episode that could genuinely bring some tears to your eyes, although it was fucking hilarious as well. And on top of that, there's many other characters that are introduced and settings that are being expanded outside of the student council room. You have Shiragani's sister introduced. Ishigami's arch nemesis arrives. And of course, best girl, or in this case I guess best girl and best guy, also appears in the story in a significant way, all beginning to bring in extra side plots of their own that are fantastic. Speaking of side plots, Ishigami, I'm rooting for you too, bro. You remember that, we all have your back. Me, the rest of the people watching the show, and those weird dudes who did the pointy thing. Please, do it for us, Ishigami. Also, we began to get some background into characters that I didn't think would happen in the story. Like Shirogane becoming student council president for one reason and one reason alone. To get with Kaguya? First of all, I'm still trying to decide whether that's some simp shit at the highest degree, or that is just absolute Sigma male moves. Taking over an entire school, you gotta give the man credit. But then also you had Shinomiya going from Ice Queen to Tsundere of the Century. Unexpected things like this really took me from being a casual viewer to being that annoying kid in Discord that's constantly harassing people on a daily basis saying, have you watched it yet? You guys gotta watch it. Yeah, I'm that guy. And that brings us to the end, where we are now. No, not the end of the video. Sorry to get your hopes up, okay? We're getting there, but not quite. But to the end of season 3. A new stake had been added to the story, something that hasn't even crossed their minds. What if they never could confess? Time was starting to run out. Shirogane told Kaguya about his plans to go to Stanford. He was going overseas and he was going early. The premise of the story had completely flipped on its head. Well, yeah, I'm sure you have the love part, but it's not really love is war at this point, is it? Probably change it to something like, love is a hard thing to come by. We should probably make this happen while we have the chance. Yeah, that should be the new title. Of course, your average anime fan like me was very excited about this. You got 2 things going on. Higher stakes, which who would have thought that was where the story was going, and of course a culture festival. This is a match made in rom-com heaven. And now they both have plans for how they're gonna make this happen. No longer caring about being the loser of the love war. It was time to get shit done. Kaguya's plan was just having a simple cup of coffee on a roof with a nice view, and just letting things kind of naturally come out and confess things. But Shirogane, he basically became the Riddler of anime, and the Riddler plan won out, taking into account many other variables and specifically the Chica variable. This man really took all the balloons and put them in a big ball, and nobody noticed? Can somebody explain that? First of all, how? Second of all, impressive. That's the Lelouch level sneaky right there. But with all this planning and strategizing he had, there was only one thing he really needed to count on here. Did Kaguya really know him? Could she figure out what he was planning? His gamble paid off. She found him in a cosplay. He was standing on top of a roof, questioning his life at this point. Kind of just wanting to give up this whole thing and kind of wondering why he was doing it in the first place. But Shirogane was not done. He held his follow-through on this plan like an NBA player making a game-winning 3. In typical Love is War fashion, nobody actually verbally confessed. But this was definitely the most hardcore version of speak with your actions instead of your words. The man did all this while making balloon animals. Like what? Shirogane continued. He dropped that giant ball onto the bonfire, and after the pop, the other blooms came flying out, starting this amazing scene. Which, by the way, I gotta say, those must have been some balloon tower defense level 69 balloons, because somehow the fire didn't pop them. But regardless, this scene was beautiful. Something you wouldn't expect out of a rom-com. The animation, emotions, settings. It was truly a work of art. And a genius plan. The balloons flying near the clock tower, making for one of the greatest scenes in a rom-com. Both of them catching a heart. It really was the perfect scene for a double confession. And then to top it all off, Kaguya's reward for even finding Shirogane was her giving him a kiss. It really felt like a climax of a story. And yeah, the story isn't over, but I wouldn't be mad if it was. I'm so happy that it isn't, but it'd be alright, I guess. because that was just amazing. A great scene. I mean, you really couldn't achieve a climax quite like that if you were on a hentai site for 2 days. And with all that, Kaguya also said she'd be going to Stanford with him, which for anime only watchers was a beautiful way to end it, because there would have been riots in these streets if it ended with a kiss and apparently one's leaving the country and nobody knew anything, okay? Which, by the way, I will definitely recommend reading the manga, okay? You know, I'm not the type of guy to do this to you, okay? I know some anime only watchers just are tired of hearing this type of stuff. And you know, sometimes I just want to enjoy an anime too without having to hear from the manga people. But I really do recommend it. If you don't, it's all good, but it's worth the read. I mean, it's not even close to over. But anyways, I've got to say, Love is War exceeded all expectations that I had, which I didn't have that many, to be honest with you. It was more of just like a sit down and I want to get a good laugh in type of show. And by the end of it, I truly am invested. And I really do want to see where their relationship goes from here. As far as where it left off, I'm giving this show a 10 out of 10, which I'm sure there may be a few of you out there that are sitting there like, you just say 10 out of 10? You didn't just say 10 out of 10. But enjoyment-wise, I really do feel that way. I can honestly say watching the show, it never felt like there was a dull moment. Never once. And there's some great shows that I've watched that I've had dull moments that I'm really like, wow, should I keep watching this show? But this was not one of them, and maybe that had to do with the fact that it was more of like a daily routine and just random stuff happening. So you weren't counting on a great plot, but the fact that we got one, I mean, it really was the chocolate at the end of an ice cream cone. Something that you don't really anticipate, but whenever it comes, I mean, shit. Anyways, it's Shriz. I'm going to stop rambling now. I really enjoyed the show. You guys let me know what you think down below on several different things. Who's best girl? Because, I mean, I've already started a war. Let's just get that over with. Did you really enjoy the show? Are you looking forward to more? Other than that, drop a like, subscribe, and I hope to see you in another video. And lastly, in Kaguya Sama Love is War fashion, in today's episode, everyone wins.